Good morning, everyone. Today is July 18th, Tuesday. We're going to start a new chapter, chapter 5. This is going to be our last chapter. And just to let you know, guys, we're going to record a lesson today. We're going to record a lesson tomorrow. We have two more sections, and then we'll be done with the syllabus. Okay. So if you need help, you have to tell me. I will record videos for you, but we won't be uploading videos anymore. This will be our last week. Next week, starting Monday, I will open the final. Again, the final will be available for 4 days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So you're going to get an extended period of time to take your final. Once again, we are going to work on 5.1 today. It's a fairly straightforward section. After we are done with our lecture today, you should be able to do all the problems from 5.1. Tomorrow, we will do 5.2. Once we wrap up 5.1, 5.2, our syllabus is over, and I won't upload any more videos, but you can ask me to do something. If you ask me to do a certain problem, I will, of course, upload a video regarding your problem. I hope that's understandable. So let's start, guys. In this chapter, we talk about integers. What are integers? Let's find out. So integers are integers are these numbers. It's a set. Some people write Z. I'm going to go over it in a second. So 0, comma, plus minus 1, comma, plus minus 2, comma, let's do one more, plus minus 3, comma, goes on and on. So this is the set of integers. So sometimes we write it as follows. We say 0, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4 on the right-hand side, and then minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 on the left-hand side, and then we could put dots on both sides. But I like to write it this way. Now, sometimes we use the letter Z written as follows. It's hard for me to type this. This is how we write Z, set of integers. These are integers. So in this section, we're going to learn how to add and subtract integers. But before we get to that, let's go over. So you have to remember this. Additive identity. So when you add an integer to another integer to get a 0, for instance, the question I'm asking is 2 plus what number? I'm going to call it I because we are looking for an integer. 2 plus what integer is 0? The answer is -2. So -2 is called the additive identity. Fancy word for you. -2 is called the additive identity. So -2 is the additive identity of 2. Let's try one more. So let's say you want to say -3. -3 plus what integer gives you 0? Has to be +3. So +3 is the additive identity of -3. One more. What integer? 0 plus what integer gives you 0? Clearly 0. So 0 is the additive identity of 0. So you get the point, I hope. So we learned about additive identities. Very basic, very simple concept, nothing too fancy. Another fancy concept is absolute value. Now, when people write it like this, when we write it like this, students get really confused, but it really is trying to say that the absolute value of +2 is 2. The absolute value of -2 or -3 would be +2 or +3. Basically, you ignore the negative sign and you look at the size of the number, not the direction. Is it on the right-hand side of 0 or the left-hand side of 0 on the x-axis? You don't care. And there's one more. That's all they're trying to say. Okay? Nothing too fancy. So instead of saying this is -2, what they're really trying to do here, guys, is they're doing this. They're doing this, which is 2. Okay? This is kind of what they're trying to do here. Okay? All right. So again, negative and minus are not the same. It's something we have to understand. Okay. In this context, negative is lack of something. Okay. Let's say -1 means you owe somebody $1, and negative and minus means taking something away. Okay. Keep that straight. So let's talk about addition. How do we add integers? Okay. So 3 plus 2 is 5. Easy enough. 3 minus 2, and I'm going to put it here, guys. I don't have a way of putting a minus on top nicely. 3 plus -2 is +2. Now, we're going to explain it carefully. Okay. Now, this one is easy to understand. This is a little hard for kids. So I'm going to be very concrete with you. Remember one thing, in this context, a circle, that's a green circle means you have $1. Okay, $1. And a red circle means you owe $1 to somebody. Again, green circle means +1. Let's write it down nicely. +1. Let's just say $1. And a red circle means -1. Let's say you owe somebody $1. Okay, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be $1. You could owe somebody a box of chocolate. Okay, but we're going to just stick to $. Okay, +1 is negative green circle, and -1 is a red circle. Well, remember one thing. A green circle and a red circle together is 0. They're additive identities. They together mean nothing. That you don't owe anybody anything. You have a buck, you owe a buck, you have no money. It's kind of like that. So take a look at this. How do we, I don't need this. This is very simple. How do we explain this? Very easy. So you have three green dollars, 3 green circles. On top of that, you're going to add 2 red circles. All right, because that's what you have. Now, remember, this green circle and red circle will cancel. This green circle and red circle will cancel. You'll be left with a green circle, which is a 1. And not 2, a 1. Sorry about the typo, guys. Let's try one more. Let's try one more. Let's say you have -2 and +3, +4. What does that mean? How does that work? Well, we know 4 minus 2 is 2, so it should be 2. Okay, so let's use our model, the green circle and the red circle model. I have -2, so I have 2 red circles, and I have green, +4. I have 4 green circles. Well, that simply means this is equivalent to 0. I'm not going to worry about it. What am I left with? 2 green circles, and hence I have 2. Okay, let's look at subtraction. Let's look at subtraction. So what if I say 3 minus -2, and that's going to be 5. Okay, um, because the minus sign and the minus sign makes it plus. 3 plus 2 is 5. But let's try to explain it using green circles and red circles. I have 3 green circles. Okay, now I am supposed to take away -2. That means I'm supposed to take away 2 red circles. I don't have any red circles. What am I going to do with it? Well, easy. If you don't have any red circles, you can always give yourself a pair of green and red, because that's equivalent to 0, isn't it? I added a green and a red circle because together they are worth 0, and you can add 0 to anything. But I need to remove 2 red circles, so I'm going to add another pair of red and green. Okay. Now I still have 3 green circles. Okay, because this is worth 0. Now I can physically remove my 2 green circles because I have them, right? Now, again, minus this sign is a minus sign, a subtraction sign, and this is negative. They're not the same, okay? At times they're treated as if they're the same, but they're not always the same. When I remove this, take it away, -2. I could took away -1. I took away -2. What am I left with? +5. Let's try one more. Let's try one more. So let's see. I'm going to take away -3 from 2. Okay, this negative sign is going to be plus. The answer should be +5. How so? How so? So let me say I have 2. I have +2. I have 2 green circles. I'm supposed to remove or take away -3. That means I'm supposed to remove 3 of the red circles. That's not easy to do. I don't have any red circles, right? So I'm going to make a pair of red and a green circle because they together are worth 0. Another pair. 0. Again, I got a 0. Now I still have 2 green circles because all of this is worth 0. All of this is worth 0. I still have 2 green circles, but I have created a situation where I can physically remove the 3 red circles, and let's remove them. This subtraction is removable. This is negative. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. What am I left with? I'm left with 5 green circles, hence my answer is 5. So these models are important for kids. These are called chip model. There is a number line model. Feel free to look at it. It's very, very similar. I like the chip better. It's easier to show. Number line models are also nice. You're going to use both of them in your 4th, 5th grade class. So try to understand this. This is fairly easy. I have assigned you 5 or 6 problems. They're really not that difficult, but you really should understand the chip model and if you want the number line model too. So I'm going to stop here. It has been a short session because there's not a lot going on in this section. I generally save the easiest sections for the last. So again, if you have any questions about any of your exam questions, you want help with, please let me know. Your exam should be available for you to review. Again, I'm repeating myself. I will open your final on Monday. It will be available for 4 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Officially, the university gives you 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday. I'm going to give you 4 days because our syllabus is over and you can take it early if you want to, and you can start your break. It's totally up to you. Okay, guys, thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow, and tomorrow will be our last recording. Have a good summer.